Hello guys, here with a new video for the channel. I hope you like it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, get comfortable. Kakarot had been proclaimed as multiversal creator god, having finished with the life of Yiki. However, with the fall of Yiki, 3 creator gods of different timelines had awakened from their great dream. So with the fall of Yiki, which corresponded to all the north of the Megaverse, beings of great powers began to appear again, which were sealed with a creator seal. With the help of the power of the 4 poles, east, south, north, and west, but with the fall of one of the gods, the seal had been weakened by 25%. However, at that moment that Kakarot had been proclaimed as the new multiversal creator god, an amazing power would have overwhelmed the 3-dimensional gods. The fall of a creator god and a birth of a new one. This had not happened since 1500 million years ago, when Yiki and his brother Sakibura fought, being Yiki the winner. Returning with Kakarot and the others, all in the multiverse of Xenosama already had passed some 700 years, in which all the universes had the perfect level of mortality, and even the destroyer gods were beings of great powers, in which in this occasion had the necessary power to destroy universes. Nonetheless, in this moment of tranquility, it would not last for so long. This way it is, in that instant a powerful warrior would have been able to wake up. Flashback. At the moment that Kakarot was able to finish with the life of Yiki, the whole North Pole was left. A powerful being was able to set himself free. However, he was in terrible condition, so he had decided to sleep for a few hundred years. End of flashback.
After hundreds of years, I have completely recovered. Apparently Yiki has fallen, but I don't feel the power of Sakibura either. Apparently those two have completely killed each other. I only feel the power of Sorat, Nor, and Hades.
That being at that moment would expel a disgusting negative aura, with which he was able to begin to absorb the vital energy of hundreds of planets. However, he wished to have much greater power, so he decided to come up with a plan.
This'll be a bit risky, but I need more power. I want to finish with all the poles and be able to bring the demonic family back to life. Death Divider!
At that moment, from all of Micah's body, large amounts of blood would start to come out. That's right, this technique, which he had activated, required an incredible power. However, at that moment, in all the poles of each dimension, creator god, including Kakarot's, small amounts of energy would be snatched by force. It was minimal, but counting with all the beings at the poles, it was an incredible power. What happened? 0.1% of my power was forcibly taken away. Kakarot wouldn't have given it any importance. However, in the realm of the whole, Daishaka was in deep thought, having lost a small part of his power as well.
What is supposed to be happening? This technique reminds me of the forbidden technique Rapture, which was used by the 6 evil gods.
However, Daishaka was confused because the Rapture was a copy of a real technique which had the name of Death Divider. Because even if a being was on the verge of death, the amount to be stolen was minimal, no matter if the bearer dies, hence its name. That's right, at that moment thousands of energy spheres and all that energy would begin to enter the body of Micah, which was filling with an incredible power, being so much that the 4-dimensional gods felt the rumble in his body. What the hell? My body feels terror and fear. That power's gigantic. It even surpasses Yiki's power with ease. Kakarot at that moment, at an incredible speed, would begin to move through all the multiverses. However, at the time of arrival, he would find absolutely nothing. But at that moment, the 3-dimensional gods would arrive in the same way, to which Kakarot would be very surprised, because he didn't know the existence of those gods. Who are you? And how were you able to feel those powers?
We are the God-dimensional creators.
Kakarot would be very astonished.
We are aware that you are able to defeat Yiki by being the first Saiyan to be born with the power of the dragon god Zalma in the legendary Orzaru.
How do you know this?
Since you've died approximately 43 times, you were tied to an infinite loop, which had to be fulfilled if or not.
I don't understand what you mean. In a few words, you were chosen by the power of Psyche Bura. You had to defeat his counterpart. However, before defeating him, you were defeated 43 times.
It was said that when you defeated Yiki, everything would be destroyed, since in the premonition that we dimensional gods had in this battle, you would sacrifice yourself. I always told them that we should not trust in premonitions, because the future of us cannot be foreseen, and we have the power to change it. Kakarot was very astonished by everything that the three-dimensional gods had told him.
This means that I was always destined to end the life of Yiki. That's right.
And until you succeeded, we don't know what would happen from here on. Because as we have told you, you should have died in that battle, so that the whole North Pole disappears with it. Even 25% of the Creator Seal.
Creator Seal? What's that?
We must explain many things to you, otherwise, this being will be able to finish with all of us. And if we die, we'll not be able to put a balance to the god of death.
I don't understand anything at all. Is there also a god of death?
That's right, a god of death. He feeds on the souls of the beings that go to the other world, be it paradise or hell. He keeps their powers.
Well, what can happen if you die?
The power of the god of death would be so powerful as to destroy the earthly, angelic, and infernal world. At that moment, Kakarot would invite them to his multiverse so that even the destroyed gods are informed of the situation, which represents even greater threat than Yiki. In that instant, the four warriors at incredible speeds would arrive at the planet of Xenosama, and Kakarot would inform all the gods and angels in an emergency meeting. After 10 minutes, all divine beings of all universes had come to the planet of Xenosama. Why this emergency meeting, Kakarot-sama? At the moment, Hades, who is the most powerful dimensional god among the three, would step forward. King of all, priest, angels, and gods. My name's Hades, and I'm the dimensional god, and the reason of this meeting is due to the amount of energy that was stolen from us. At that moment, hundreds of comments would be heard from all the gods and angels.
Apparently, even when I defeated Yiki, very old seal was weakened, being able to escape a being, which even exceeds the power of Yiki.
The most dangerous thing is not that, since according to legends, in that dimension, there's a demonic race, which is capable of killing a creator god with a single blow. At that moment, all the gods began to panic. How is it possible to kill a creator god with a single blow? They're only legends, but in every legend or rumor, there's always some truth.
For that reason, I've sent you, gods. I want you to continue training, as you have done so far. But if you noticed any anomaly, inform us. This is a galactic-level threat.
Understood, Kakarot-sama.
Meanwhile, in a very different place, thousands of shadows, negative energy, were around a single being. That's right, it was Micah, who, seconds before Kakarot arrived to this place, was able to use a three-dimensional change, with which he is able to disappear his key completely.
That was close. The power of the three-dimensional gods is strong, but the power hidden in that guy is amazing. From what I was able to hear, that guy was able to end Yiki's life.
Mike at that moment would begin to assimilate all the power, which at every moment caused deeper into his sea of energy. Even the dimension where he was, energy spread, which caused stars and also destroyed by excess of energy.
The power of that guy is amazing. Despite only stealing 0.1% of all his power, my body's heavy and hurts. I have to bring my family to finish with those bastards.
Returning to the realm of Hole, all the gods at that moment had moved to each other in the universes, training every day more arduously. Meanwhile, on the planet of Xenosama, Kakarot, together with the three-dimensional gods, stayed talking for a few more minutes.
Kakarot, that's your name? I wanted to test your power, and to know if we have a chance against that power that has been felt recently.
Of course we'll fight, and we'll defeat whoever it is. I'll not let my multiverse be destroyed again.
Daishenkin at that moment, with his great power, would create a platform in which only Kakarot and Hades would remain. You may begin. At that moment, both subjects had amazing speeds, which were even complicated for Daishenkin began to connect multiple blows. While exchanging blows, Hades was very confused. What is this? The power of the past versions of Kakarot is amazing. This power is miserable. There's no point of comparison.
However, as Hades was very distracted in the battle, Kakarot at that moment would increase his power to 100% in the state of Ultra Instinct, connecting thousands of blows, which would make the powerful Hades spit blood.
Those blows hurt me. Are you hiding your true power?
That's right! I don't like to call attention with my power. I always prefer to keep it at rest so that my opponents trust me and finish them quickly.
You're different from all the versions of you that I've known in the past, since they were confident in their power, unlike you, which quickly ends with their enemies.
Hades at that moment, much more serious, would launch against Kakarot, starting to exchange blows, which this time Kakarot received without being able to do anything. However, after 3 minutes of Kakarot not being able to defend himself, he would use a little more of his power, accessing Ultra Phase Instinct 3. I've rarely used this transformation since I usually access my celestial form.
Do you have much more power than this?
I do, and all this time I've been able to achieve a new transformation, but it'll be used on a worthy opponent. Kakarot at the moment, at an astonishing speed a no-dimensional god was able to observe, would knock out Hades, the most powerful dimensional god.
I can't believe it!
Kakarot was able to defeat Hades! At that moment, Kakarot would return to Ultra Instinct, which he had taken as his base state. After a few hours, Hades would wake up a little confused.
I seem to have lost. Your power's amazing. I'm not able to assimilate it, but we must still be ready. The power that was felt was from another dimension.
At that moment, the three-dimensional gods would return to each of their poles. Meanwhile, with Micah, he had been able to master all the power that he had stolen, beginning to devise a plan.
First, I need to just test the power of all the destroyer gods to know if they'll be a nuisance or just flies.
At that moment, Micah, with his great negative power, would create a massive dark energy in front of him, from which a few rays would come out. After a few days, a being would come out of such darkness. That's right, Micah had the power and knowledge necessary to create beings based on negativity.
You already know what your objective is. Attack the deities of Universe 7, since as I could investigate, it's the universe to which this subject's more appreciation. Destroy his planet. As you command, my master.
At that moment, the warrior named Draco would leave at great speed to Universe 7, arriving quickly to the planet of the Saiyans Vegeta, beginning to destroy everything around him. At that moment, Broly, Bardock, and the Prince of the Saiyans Vegeta would stand in front of this warrior.
Who the hell are you? Do you want to be exterminated by the Saiyan race? You don't have enough power to face me.
At that moment, the three warriors rushed against Draco, who would release a little of his power, shaking the entire Universe 7. So much so that Beerus and Whis had felt such a roar. Mr. Beerus!
That's right, Whis. A new being of negative energy has appeared, and I'm sure it's due to that guy.
He is on the planet Vegeta. We must hurry. While Beerus and Whis were heading at maximum speed to the planet Vegeta, Draco had been able to give them a beating to the three warriors who had fallen very badly wounded. But Broly at that moment would begin to rise its maximum power.
What will happen next? Find out in the next chapter. Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.